Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
California. Yes, it's sunny California. You listen to the Express Yourself Hour, and I am your host, Dr. Milligan, coming to you live with nothing but straight talk. 'Cause folks, you know what? That's how we do it around here. Nothing but straight talk. It is so nice out here today, and I don't want to, I won't spoil your day. I want to enlighten your day. Today is a day that we're going to talk about something that's long overdue. Something that people know and feel, but it's hush hush. They dare not to talk about it. And when I began to look at the economic crisis in the Black community, I can't help but put two and two together to try to take a serious look at why we are in the economic ditch, why we are beneath the economic rubbish. Now, so it's important for us to face it so we can erase it, folks. You know, you just got to know what is going on. Take the blinders off. Look in your own family, your close friend, your relatives, and take a look at what's really happening. So today we're going to talk about the marriage crisis in Black America. We're going to dive into 5 reasons our marriages fail and why it's costing us our health, it's costing us our wealth, and we're going to look at how it's impacting the future. Broken marriages yields broken wealth. I'm going to say that again. Broken marriages yields broken wealth. And what is it doing to our community? We have to really dive into that. Now, let's look at the cost of broken families. Just think about it. Today we're going to talk about something that most people, they feel, but very few people want to discuss it openly. The condition of Black families in America. Now, let me say something before I get started. I'm not trying to catch blame. It's not about blaming Black women. This show is not about blaming Black men. It's about telling the truth about something that we need to take a look at so we can change the economic direction that we're heading in. So we can change the things that's affecting our health, our wealth, and the future of our community. You know, there was a time when Black families stood strong, even in the face of adversities. During slavery, segregation, discrimination, families still found ways to hold together. So what happened? Today we're witnessing something troubling. To me, it's troubling. I don't know about to you. It's troubling to me. Most of our children are growing up without both parents. Women are carrying the burden of raising the children alone. And men are disconnected from their family, from their children. Broken relationship, folks. The consequence reach far beyond the household. Let's look at something. Broken relationship impact our economic stability. They affect our mental and physical health. Yes, it does. It affects the ability to build generational wealth. So today, we're going to talk about the 5 major reasons black marriages fail. Now, and how it impacts their community and their children and the next generation. Because if the family is weakened, the community is weakened. So, and if the community is weakened, the future for our children and for our families become bleak. So it's time to talk about these things. So today we're not whispering about it. We're not whispering about this issue. We are confronting it head on. That's what we're doing. We're confronting this head on because it is a serious problem. Let me give you some facts. Only 1/3 of black children are currently, black adults, 1/3 of black adults are currently married. 1/3 are currently married. Wow. Compared to over half of white adults are married. Let me go back over that. Then you can understand the economic disparity and what is causing that. What I'm saying, only 1/3 of black adults are currently married compared to over half of white adults. That's saying something. Children in single-parent homes, about 64 to 7% of black children are born to unmarried mothers. This does not mean that those mothers are failing. Many are heroic, but it does not show the structural challenge that they face. Okay, what else? The economic gap. We're talking about what happened when homes are broken. What happened when marriages fail? I believe if the nation, if families, if we all could really take a close look at this, we would think twice about how we're preparing our young people for marriage. And we're going to talk about why many young people get married, why they're failing, because they have not seen what a wholesome marriage look like, because they're born to a mother that does not have a husband, and many times most of them don't have men in our life. So that's important. Now, we talk about the household, the wealth gap. Typically 7 times more wealth in a marriage family than a single family. So that's important. And we have to look at how it impacts the health. You might say, what does divorce, what does marriage have to do with health? We're going to talk about that later, because you and I know it makes a difference when you have a shoulder to cry on, you have somebody to lean on, you have that support. It means a lot, because married individuals, they often experience lower stress levels. Now, some of them don't, That's why a lot of divorces, and we'll talk about that. But they have better mental health. And I think if anybody out there been married, I think you will agree that this is true. And they have longer life expectancy. Now, number 5, we're looking at poverty risks of children. This is what the real problem is. Children raised in single-parent households are statistically are more likely to face economic hardship. You know that. Educational challenge. Want to go to college, can't afford, need to get a job. Under so much stress that they don't do well and having to drop out of college. Limited access to wealth building opportunities. Folks, it is important to have this dialogue, and I know the impact that it makes, and I'm sure my listener also knows. So what I'm going to do, before I introduce my co-host who has joined us, Pete, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Dr. Rosie.
Great. This is a topic. Sometimes you do topics, you say, do I, should I? And then I have to say, yes, you should.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are witnessing the problem, the issues that we're facing because of failed marriage. I'm not saying that other folks' marriage do not fail, but there are certain things that make it more difficult and more challenging for the black family, and it has a lot to do with economics.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
going to talk about that when we get to the reason. So before I do that, I am going to allow my callers, those who are listening, to chime in. You've heard what I had to say. You've heard how difficult it is. You maybe never thought about it. And I know there are a lot of people who say, well, I can do bad by myself, but you don't want to do bad by yourself. You don't want to do bad, period. So these are words that we need to let go. But I'm trying to figure out, Keith, during slavery,
Right.
during the toughest times, when we say, well, it's all about economics.
Right.
Well, they didn't even use the word economic back then. But they found a way that the glue was there. They understood that all we have is each other. They understood the importance of being there with their children. But we know how all that broke down, back in the days when a family needed help. It was, we can't help you unless the man is gone. So the man, well, I might as well leave. At least my kids can eat.
Yeah, that's what happened. That is what happened. Yeah.
So we know how it got started. But we need to fix this now. We need to fix it. So as a whole, Keith, I think we just need to have a national, regional conference all over. We got to look at these broken homes because they're causing broken wealth, not having generational wealth. I hate to see what this next generation of black youth are going to have to face.
You don't want to see it. You don't want to see it.
You're absolutely right, because we couldn't stick it out, because we couldn't work it out.
Did you know that for Generation Z, the young folks coming out of college had the same unemployment rate that somebody that didn't go to college has? The exact same.
Keith, wait a minute. Repeat that.
A young person coming out of college, unless they got some kind of fancy technical degree, okay, has the same unemployment rate that a person that didn't go to college has.
That's frightening. That's frightening. We have to do something. I tied in the condition of our community. I will stand boldly and tie it in to broken families.
Yeah, this has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and most people, women do well, they raise these kids. Yeah, you think you're doing well, but
that's not true.
Have you asked a child? Let's talk about that. Did you ask your son? Did you ask your daughter? What was the psychological, the mental impact on their lives by not having both parents with them? Ask the question.
We don't have to ask the question, Dr. Rosie. We had 60 years to actually look at this, right? And the numbers are the numbers, okay? The numbers are the numbers. Wealth, educational outcome, reading levels, incarceration levels, all kinds of stuff. You can see it. It's not something we have to guess at. You can see the effect. We don't have to theorize it. It's right there in front of us. They've been writing about this. The black community is the most studied people on the planet. They have broken us down to the dot and the tittle. Okay, we are the most studied group of people on the planet because we're unique. So you can't say that the numbers aren't the numbers.
Absolutely. I mean, you can almost say it's science.
It basically it is science, not only from not only internally but externally. And guess what? What the external people, which is white people, say is the same thing that the black people say. The numbers are the numbers.
So when who's going to address it? When will somebody step up and call an ace and a spade?
They do, but the thing is, calling it something and people wanting to do something different with it are two different things, and that's what I'm noticing. Whatever it is, black folks are happy doing what they do. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, you know what? I tell people don't believe when I said that black men and women are in reverse order of nature, that they came from you. They don't believe it. They think because I'm a man. That's where it came from. They don't believe it came from you.
Wow. It sure is reverse, and that is a great part of the problem. We're
Yes.
reared. Nobody else is reared and shaped that
No,
way.
they're
In
not.
reverse
Order and nature.
order to
The
nature.
I'm listening to the African people because with the internet you can listen to because the Africans are struggling with feminism and all that kind of stuff because as their environment changes and their women start to get jobs, they start to change. But the thing is, they don't look at the problem the same way that we look at it. Okay. In fact, the African women said the fact that they're starting to admire you guys is because you guys are independent and you guys do nothing some stuff that they never dreamed of doing. So it's not just being black. We are
Right.
unique all over the planet.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
There's no comparison, and
No.
that's why we need to understand who we are,
Mm-hmm.
how we got there,
Yeah.
and then how we need to dig out of this hole. See,
What?
if you're afraid to look back, and a
Uh huh.
lot of people tell me,
Uh
well,
huh.
you always talking about back in the day, you talking about slave. If you don't know how you got
Got
in the
here. Yes.
ditch,
Yeah.
you won't know your way out.
Yeah.
That's why I talk about it is important. And when
Mm-hmm.
I talk about the black woman, reared in reverse order to nature, she's the
Yes.
only woman reared
Yes.
to think independently of her man.
Oh,
But
yes.
growing up in slavery, she knew she couldn't depend on
Eh,
him.
eh, yeah, yeah, that's true. And since she couldn't depend on him, she said, "I have to run the family. I have to be in charge, and I have to." And he's adjunct because in the slave farm, if you go back, there's a very good book. It's called The American Slave Coast, where they actually step by step told you why America started breeding us like animals in America,
Hmm.
okay, and setting this pattern up. And the
Right.
pattern is set up from slave farm, and for whatever reason, we have continued. Even though America has changed, in some ways it hasn't, but it has changed. We haven't.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Anytime you can see the massacre come out
Yeah.
and beat your husband down
Right.
in
Right.
your presence, what was that
Right.
doing? Letting you know
Yeah.
not only he couldn't protect himself, he couldn't protect you. So then you begin to lean on
Right.
him for protection. Black
Yeah.
women
Yeah.
used to call. They called it the law back in
Hmm.
the
Oh,
country.
yeah. Yes. Yes.
We're
They
gonna
did.
call the law on
Because
you.
they still do. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
still do,
They
kids.
still do. My daughter, I had to get angry with what was my daughter is because the man that she had a child by, right? And she was angry with him. She said, "I'm gonna get the white man on you."
They said, I'm going to call the law.
Yeah.
So if the black man did something that his
Hmm.
wife didn't like, she
Right.
would tell the white man. He
Yeah.
would come to the house.
And
Don't
he
you
would.
hit her again. Don't you do
Exactly.
this.
Exactly.
Folks, you got to understand. You got to understand that black
Hmm.
men, wives who have been raped by their
Hmm.
master,
Hmm.
and when she birthed that baby,
Hmm.
this man knew that that baby was not his, but he
Hmm.
couldn't do nothing about it.
Nope.
Couldn't do nothing about it.
Nope.
So that hasn't happened to anybody else. So don't ever think that your situation is not different because it is. So that's why the black woman today called herself the independent woman.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't need you. I
And
can
and,
do bad by my. I'm the backbone.
and,
I don't ever want to hear a black woman
and,
use the word "I'm the backbone." You're not the backbone of nothing,
and
and
other
you don't
women
want to be and don't need to be.
and other women around the world open their mouths that they don't know where that comes from because it's not part of their culture. But
Right.
yeah.
So we got to understand, and when we translate that, then we can see, and we go back and look how the black man was moved out of the home when he could not support uh, his family for them to get help. Then women began to learn, okay, I can do it by myself because I can get a check. And then it came down to even the babies, 16 or so, when they had babies, they could move out of your house because they could get a check and they
Hmm.
could get housing,
Hmm.
you know. So let's look at what happened. And then we bring it on home today and we look at the destruction of the black family because of the divorce rate. Because we started looking at TV, we saw white folks, oh, you can get a divorce, you can do this. If black folks understand they're not Caucasian clones, and start dancing to the innate a part of them as how they should relate to each other, then I think we would be better off. Because, our parents used to say, go to school, get a good education, find a man to sit you down. Now, you're going to pay for me to go to school 5 years, 10 years, and then find a man to sit me down. Why was she saying that? Because she wanted you to be doing what the white woman did. She was at home, so she didn't mean any harm when she taught us that way. I want you to be the princess, be the little wife. But she never internalized the reason the white woman was sitting down at home.
Right.
So you were raising her kids.
Right.
You were breastfeeding her kids.
Yes.
You were ironing, you were cooking, and even on the side, being harassed by her husband.
Mm-hmm.
But see, your mother didn't see that part. All she wanted I want you to be like the white woman. And today, we still got black women who want to adopt the same attitude. We came up with, you know what? Don't spank your kids because white folk give them time out. Now, that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. But let me open up here for my callers, for my listeners. It's your time to speak. What do you think? What do you see about broken marriage? And if there's anyone there who has a broken marriage, who wish they had found a way to make it work, talk about that. Because let me tell you something. When women are young, they think it's cute. And I ain't stay there. I left. I put him out. I did this. I did that. But all the fallout comes. You're not going to always be young. When I'm looking at the older women now who are living by themselves, who are almost eating out of the trash can keys. No, none of us ever thought that inflation would outpace Social Security checks.
Right.
Okay? So now, when you're looking at rents, one bedroom, $2,400 a month.
Right.
Studio, $1,800 a month. The average person that's 70 and 80 now do not have that type of Social Security or pension plans.
Right.
But if two of them were together, y'all better listen up. If two Social Security was put together, two Social Security checks, they would have a much happier and peaceful life versus one. So all I'm saying is we got to strengthen these families, because when we look at what's happened to the children, Keith, we also have to go back and look at what's happening to our elderly because of this broken families.
It used to be before the Depression, your children were your Social Security. So in other words, when you got old, if you raised your children well, when you got old, they were your Social Security. They would take care of you.
That's right. That's right.
And we in the modern era,
they look forward to it. They look forward to it.
Yeah, and
mama to come and stay and bring grandma.
And grandma is because that's how you paid it forward. Because one day you're going to be old, and your children have to do the same thing for you.
That's why the African used to always say, Keith, that your greatest investment is your children.
It's your children. Yeah,
it's not the car. It's not the house you bought. Your greatest investment.
Yes.
Because you know what? When you get old and need help, that car ain't gonna roll up in your bedroom and turn you over and give you a bath.
Yeah, like they used to be, and the Chinese believe that the better your children, the better your retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you invested in your children. Yeah.
But now it's in reverse order again. Here we go, reverse order again. Not only are they not bringing mama home.
Yes.
They coming to grandmama's house.
Yes, they are.
Them and their children.
And their children.
Folks, it's something wrong. God, we need a healing. Oh, our community, we need to, that's what it is. Okay. Anyone else want to jump in before I keep rolling? Because this subject is very dear to me. We got to correct this. We got to change this. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean,
Elaine has her hand up. Let's let Elaine come in. Elaine,
good morning, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I remember when I was getting married, I didn't really want to get married, and that's because I went to all girls high school, all women college.
Okay.
And when only you see only women, you're like, well, there's no guys here, so it must be okay. You just sort of
Mhm.
get the feeling like, hey, everything's all right, and I remember on my wedding day, my mom said, I want to talk to you before you get married. She says,
Mhm.
all of these men are the same. So if your husband tells you to do something, you just do it. I said, okay, take off the dress. Wedding's off. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You do whatever you want to do. But I just want to let you know that there are people that have ways of dealing with the problems in their marriage. And I remember an Italian woman told me, she says, you know how we do it? We sleep with every one of his friends and break him till he have no friends. I'm like, that must be how black women get killed. I said, I'm not
Mhm.
trying that one either. So I believe that you have to pick your partner properly. You have to go through counseling. You have to know them. You can't just meet someone that says, "Oh my God, he's so great," and then you find out that he's took all your grandmother's jewelry and sold it and took your stuff. You have to know the person you're getting into a relationship with. If the kids come before that, then you just deal with it. But the bottom line is, I believe that marriage is important, but if it's not important to someone, they need to listen to that
Right.
instead of being convinced that they should be married because everybody's married or everybody has a boyfriend. I must have a boyfriend. I must look like I fit the norm so people won't question me. And I think that's what's going
Absolutely.
on.
You absolutely, because people feel like, well, I'm this age now, I should be married.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. I'm this age now, I need to start my family.
Mhm.
And then they go and get pregnant. And the other whole thing about that is,
Mhm.
which I still feel is so wrong, when women choose to start their family when they want to without discussing with the man
Mhm.
who's the father of that child. That's
Mhm.
another whole issue. It
Mhm.
should be consented that you want to have a child together. It is not fair for there are women who claim that they are on birth control. They tell the men, and they know they are not. They just want a baby. They don't care whether they get married or not.
It's
I got to
biological.
have a baby because
Mhm.
Sue got one, Betty
Mhm.
got one. My clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking.
Yeah,
Yes.
clock
Yeah.
clock is ticking.
Mhm.
I'm 30. My clock is ticking. Now women having baby at 40,
Mhm.
45. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with them. They healthy. We just listen to a broken system. But you're right, Elaine. It's like, well, I need to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some women who get married, Keith, they know
Mhm.
before that wedding, so many times they will have found out, this is not for me to do. Well, I can't cancel it now because I've sent the invitation out. The minute you know you don't need
Mhm.
to do that,
Yeah.
because people spend $10,000 planning a wedding,
Mhm.
but they don't plan how the marriage is going to go.
The thing is, it's one thing. Okay, it's one thing if individually, a few individuals don't want to get married. Okay, it's always been that way. Because the thing is, when becomes the majority of people, guess what happens to society?
What?
It starts to break apart. What things going on right now? Start to break apart. Society's starting to die out.
Well, it better come back. It better come back for the black
It can't.
community. I'm telling you, if you don't see the devastation with one person, everybody out here, now here you out here, we
Hmm.
broke up, we divorced. Now you got to pay child support, and the judge has no mercy on you.
You, you
No
know.
mercy. He don't care if you sleep in your car.
You
This is
know.
what you have to pay, or you going to jail.
You know what, Dr. Rosie, and this is something that I learned this from a white lady. Okay, for the first time in United States history, a black woman's fertility rate is lower than a white woman's. Never
Wow.
happened in 400 years. First
Well,
time in history that the black fertility rate, black women having less babies than white women are.
and they having
Great
too
percentage.
many abortions. Oh my
Yes,
God.
they are. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and that's all because, let's look at some of the real truth.
Hmm.
Nobody want to say out loud. Before I do that, I will open up if there's I see Cassandra, Barbara Smith. If you have
Hmm.
a comment,
Y'all
you can
jump in.
go ahead and make it before I start talking about the 5 reasons
Hmm.
for marriage failure.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna say it again, you guys. It may be cute now. You young, you pretty, you this, you that,
Hmm.
but keep on living. It's
Hmm.
very few women that's past 65 or 70, they're doing well by themselves. Look around. Check your friends. Check the members of your church. Check your surrounding and see if you can verify what I'm telling you. You know, in the Bible it says your latter days should be your better days. Huh? I don't see that among a lot of our people. Their latter days become their struggling days.
Mm-hmm.
Their latter days become their worst days. Folks, it was never meant to. The whole world, everything just turned upside down. It don't seem as anything that naturally is supposed to be is so. So we're going to move forward. We're going to talk about the 5 hard truths that nobody wants to talk about. Today we're going to deal with the 5 hard truths about black marriage. They're not comfortable truths, but sometimes truth is the first step toward healing. No, let me back up. Not sometimes, all the time. Truth is the first step toward healing. That means facing it. You got to face it to erase it. Marriage cannot survive without economic stability. It's not in these days. It did back in the day because you weren't even using the word economic. You were just doing it, just making it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Love alone does not pay the rent, does not pay the mortgage, or the utility bill. That's why people you need to consider before you jump into a marriage. You got to think about this. Where am I going to live? Can we pay the bill? If I get pregnant, can we afford the child? What if the child is not healthy and I can't go back to work? All of these things need to be brought up. That's why I think they ought to pass a law, Keith, that you can't get married without counseling.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Okay.
I really do. Well, we don't need no law. We need to decide in the black community, forget about what other folks are doing. We need to come up with it within our own construct that you cannot get a marriage license, you cannot get married without counseling. That is so important. People get married, you don't know the other one owe everybody in town or file bankrupt twice because you don't ask the right question. That's why my sister and I wrote a book. What you need to know before you get hitched. Folks, if you got daughters, sons, you need to run and get that book. What you need to know before you get hitched. Sometimes people get married, they don't even know whether the other person have children or not. Don't ask. I think maybe if you ask the question, it may be the wrong question and stop you. I don't know why people don't ask these questions. You find out later the man paying half of his check for child support.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know he had children.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been many times he was not even divorced.
Yeah.
And married again.
Yeah.
Married somebody in Las Vegas, was married in Mississippi, never got divorced.
I got a friend like that.
Y'all better listen. Y'all better ask some questions out there.
It's funny is because that in the black community, okay, especially under Jim Crow, that's very common.
Yeah, you
Very
just
common
left.
amongst black
Wasn't
folks.
no divorce. You just left.
It's
She
just
went her way,
it's
and
called
you went his,
it's
right?
called a walking divorce. Okay, and black
Yes.
folks used to do that all the time. And I've met 3 or 4 of my friends, okay, that are boomers that did the exact same thing because that's what they saw.
Yeah, they saw Dad walk off, or they say
Walk off.
Mama just left.
It just never filed paperwork.
Never file paperwork and go on to California and get married.
Get married again.
Later on, you amass wealth, and this person hear about it. Now you're in trouble.
And then it matters because the law will come in then.
Yeah,
The
it
state comes in.
happened to someone that I knew,
Mm-hmm.
and she had quit her job to take care of her husband because he had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And when he died, the children called, so you know you're not his wife, right? I'm serious. She said, what you mean? He never divorced my mom. And guess what? The judge, he owned an apartment and a house. The judge gave his first wife the apartment. They got to cars. He did leave this woman the house that she was living in because The judge himself said
Have,
she was
have
a
mercy.
victim. She was
Yes.
a victim of circumstance.
Yes.
So, folks, y'all better ask some questions around
We have, a very good book written by a black man. Okay, Franklin Frazier, who was actually a student of W. Du Bois. It's called The Negro Family in the United States. Okay, a lot of stuff that we talk about is outlined in that book, and that book was written in the 1930s.
Keith, I think we have something on the board, but that's why it's so important. In fact, speaking of that, Black Writers on Tour plus business plus AI Expo is going down, you guys, next month. That's Saturday, April 25th at the Carson Community Center. Mission and parking are free. Multiple of seminars. Keith, the reason I promote reading and try to get people to read books, because just what you said, folks, we need to get, not we, because I'm not on Facebook like that. You need to get your face off of Facebook and put your face in a book.
Right, right.
Because you would dig into the depth of who we are, how we got here, how we need to operate. You know, you need to read those books. Frederick Douglass, My Bondage, My Freedom. My nephew didn't care anything about school till he read that book where it said, if it's unlawful for a Negro to learn how to read, then I know that reading is the foundation, is the gateway to freedom. That turned his whole life around. I wish our kids could go back and read W.B. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass, all of those writers in the past. It would really change your life. Now, we talked about the number one reason is really finance. Marriage can't survive. Right. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of divorce among every marriage, but it's greater among African Americans because we are at the bottom of the bottom from an economic standpoint.
True.
When money problems persist, they often bring stress, arguments, feeling of failure, or resentment. Men feel like, wow, I'm a failure. The house is in foreclosure. We getting an eviction notice. A man ain't supposed to, that ain't supposed to happen with a man in the house. Am I right, Keith?
That's true.
Society. They don't care if you broke your hip,
right.
You're in the hospital, I don't care what. It is your responsibility to provide a shelter for your wife and your children.
Right.
And when you can't do that,
right,
that becomes a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
It become arguments, there's stress, there's resentment.
There's a lot of resentment, yeah.
A lot of resentment. Because you are trying to hold him up to what you say he's supposed to do.
Right, right.
But it's your job. Well, find a way. I mean, I've heard women say some horrible stuff, and men too, you know? So, okay, we looked at that. Financial instability is really important. That's why it's important to have this two-party family.
Right.
It's important to educate your kids. Millions of dollars spent every year on weddings, but very little time is spent learning how to actually live together as partners.
That's true.
You don't even think about how we're going to live. All you excited about is good sex. I like the way he's good in bed.
Yeah.
Keep on living and see how many times you're going to want to go to bed when the bill collector start calling you.
Yeah.
And guess what? They always, Brenda, they always call the woman. I remember once a bill collector called me. This way back in the day, you guys. They don't call me now, but I've been through, young folks, I've been through it. You know, not knowing what I should have known from an economic standpoint, financial literacy. But I remember this day, this white man called me on my job about a bill. I say, why did you call my husband?
Because he's black.
I say, he's the head. Wait, I read the scripture to him. Blah, blah, so-and-so said he's the head of the house, okay? Why you didn't call him?
Reverse
they
order
won't
nature.
call the man. Because they know the man going to tell them where to go and when they can go, okay? But they know the woman going to find a way, and sure enough, I did. I got on the phone, called my sister. Girl, I need to pay this bill. They called me on. He knew what I was going to do, but I learned that later. They going to call the woman. They ain't call the man. The woman going to be the first person they call because they know you're going to try to get that money up. You stressing, and you go home and you
Mm-hmm.
mad at the man.
Mm-hmm.
You getting him told
Yeah.
because the white man called you. Am I walking on somebody's street? Has that
No,
ever happened to anybody?
the thing is, and I talk to through my dating life, you talk to the girls and find out what their mother told them, right? Okay, their mother taught them to handle the bills. Okay, they didn't teach the sons to handle the bills. They taught their daughters to handle the bills.
Now, see, what did I say about, now back me up, Keith. Reverse order
Order
to
of
nature.
nature. Dr. Rose, you older than me. Am I wrong?
You're right. You're right.
I
And
said,
it
how come?
doesn't make sense.
You always ask, how come mom didn't, mom and dad didn't teach, you know, teach son how to, how to do his finances? Because in the white community, the man has control of the finances. He's the one that worries about the bills. But in our community, it's mama.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's something to think about. It
Hmm.
really is.
Hmm.
Another hard truth is wedding does not generate, a beautiful wedding does not generate a successful marriage.
No.
I had a nephew who had his wedding and reception in the town he lives in the convention center. Did you
Right.
hear me?
Right.
Wow.
Oh, in the convention center, y'all. Was married, stayed together probably 2 years.
Hmm.
We flew in for the wedding. I wish I could have got my money back for the plane and everything else. But I'm trying to say, you guys, they focus on the beauty. Oh, didn't she have a big wedding? Well, that's not all to it. The other one, number three, is unrealistic expectation of damaging relationship. Culturally speaking, with a man ahead, he's supposed to take care of everything. The wife's supposed to stay at home. You work if you want to. You don't need to work. It's the wife's responsibility. You do the cooking. Black folk, you're going to have to do whatever is necessary. Stop trying to ascribe to what we call the norms. If you get home, your wife is working, it doesn't matter who cooked. It doesn't matter who picked the kids up. Who said a wife had got to go to the school when the kids in trouble? Why
Hmm.
is that? Why is the man not going? Why you feel like you got to do everything? Here you got
Hmm.
to go up there dealing with the principal
Hmm.
and the child's father. He looking at that. That's why when they don't see the marriage working like it should be, they
Right.
don't know because they haven't had a role model. Because they
Right.
saw mama going to the school getting the teachers told. They saw
Hmm.
mama doing
Right.
everything.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the daughter grow up thinking, what? I'm supposed to do
Now I'm
everything.
supposed to do everything.
The young man grows up thinking, I don't have to do nothing.
All I gotta do is follow. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you think that's going to lead to a happy marriage? No, because somebody going to become bankrupt in that marriage.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody is going to become bankrupt in that marriage. That's what caused it to end, okay? Now, social media, TV,
Ooh,
is
horrible.
how it's supposed to look.
Hmm.
And you're trying to measure up to what you see on TV. Lord have mercy. Mm, mm, mm. Everybody's supposed to have their own room, TV in the bathroom, in the closet.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you don't have all that, you're not measuring up. Your husband can get you a new car.
Hmm.
You in this two bedroom house
Hmm.
when you
Where,
need four.
where's your spiral staircase?
Yes, yes, trying to measure up against images that's not real. My daughter, I can't remember the movie because I told her I wanted to see it. She said, "Well, this couple looked like they were doing so good, and this other couple was having issues because they couldn't measure up." And come to find out, these people who were living next door to them was actors.
Mm. Okay.
And all they saw had nothing to do with reality of life. So I said, I have to see that movie. Because so many people is caught up with that. People that you think are doing well. Have
Hmm.
you ever noticed a couple that you thought would never, that Jesus couldn't separate? Have you
Right.
ever seen anybody like that?
Hmm. Yeah. All the time. Yeah.
And then you look up and they're divorced and you're trying to say, what
Hmm.
happened?
What happened? Yeah.
So you need to carve out your expectation for you, your family, your husband, your kid. You don't try to measure even your kids. Don't try to measure them up with somebody else's kid. Don't try. Well, look what Miss Jones boy did.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. You can't do that. It's just so much education we need in order to make it. Okay. Now the other thing we're gonna look at is too many children are growing up without seeing healthy relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You think that play a part in why we have failed marriage? Yes. Yes. They don't know what a wholesome relationship look like. And then you find the girls trying to tell our boys,
Right.
you ain't no man because you don't know nothing about a man. Your daddy wasn't there. You didn't have an uncle or another significant person in your life. You don't even have a model
Mm-hmm.
to tell me what I should be and how I should act. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen it take place. Well, he ain't no man because he didn't do this. A woman trying to tell a man what a man's supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
when she's never basically been in the presence of a real man. Wow. Wow. It becomes harder it becomes harder when you get married and you've never seen it, Elaine. You've never seen husband and wife resolving conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what conflict resolution is.
Mm-hmm.
No, you go to bed with it, you put it in the drawer at night, you don't bring it out till something happened. Now you want to clean the whole drawer out. Well, you know what you did 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I never will forget. And you know what your mama said. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this happened 3 years ago. So you buried it until the opportune time till you have just filled your cup up. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're throwing all of this stuff up in his face. Folks, you never saw a husband and wife supporting each other. So you don't know how to do it. You got your own money, your expectation. Many people go into these marriage keys not expecting them to last. You know how I know? Because I've heard, well, you know what? I'm gonna put my stuff in storage just in case it doesn't work. Now, how you gonna go into a marriage thinking that in case it doesn't work? How many black couples, how many black girls and black boys have been socialized to really think that this probably ain't gonna work? I can see why they feel that.
Yeah,
Because most of the people they see got married didn't stay married.
didn't stay married. Exactly.
Now that's an interesting point, isn't it, Keith?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brenda, see if you can get back in.
The average black marriage only lasts 5 years. Modern black marriage only lasts 5 years now.
You know, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is one of the greatest problems.
Mm-hmm.
The reason marriages fail because the people get married have no model as to what it should look like.
That precisely. Never been trained.
Yeah.
Never been
These
trained.
other kids grew up.
Mm-hmm.
They know mom and dad don't always get along.
Mm-hmm.
But they see them coming back together. They see that there was a resolution about something.
Because the marriage is more important than the individual.
The marriage is important. Generational wealth is important.
The children, yeah.
That children not coming up in poverty, having to steal and go in the store and pick up something, get caught,
Mm-hmm.
or want to get clothes like what the other kids are wearing, so they, start selling a little weed here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking real talk. They have never seen, and if our kids could see what a good marriage, when I say good marriage, I'm not talking about perfect. There is no perfect marriage. And that's what you need to tell your kid.
Mm-hmm.
This is not perfect now. As my daddy said, teeth and tongue fall out.
Yeah.
But you want to say, but we come together, we resolve. Did I agree with everything he did? No. Are you going to agree with everything your husband did? No.
No.
Did I make mistakes in the marriage? Yes.
And
did he make mistakes? Yes.
And it's things that the man or the woman wants, and you guys are looking at the budget. You're looking at the bills. You know how much money is there. You know you can't have it.
Absolutely.
And you complaining to the woman, or the woman complaining to the man, you can't get me this. You know exactly how much he makes per year, and how many hours he works, and you know what the budget is. Why are you crying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you have a man who working 2 and 3 jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not even working one,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't feel the need to, no, well, he's supposed to take care of me.
Okay. You know, and the thing is, I used to tell all my women, you know, if you can afford the lifestyle of what I make, fine.
That's it. Say that again, Keith.
If
That
if
point right
if
there.
if you can afford to live the lifestyle of what I make without me killing myself, okay, I don't mind working, 50 hours a week, maybe a little bit more. Okay, that's fine. But then I'm not gonna be working 80 hours a week to put you on a lifestyle that you want to afford. I'm not gonna do that. If you are willing to accept the lifestyle of what we bring in, then you don't have to work.
Now, see, that makes sense.
Hmm.
That makes sense. So, Keith, think about it. How many parents actually sit down and have a discussion with their kids about what marriage really is? Not what it look like, because
Hmm.
things can be looking, because you don't know. They haven't
Right.
told you the bills, the argument they've had. They haven't
Hmm.
told you. So it's nothing wrong. So they grow up thinking that marriage is supposed to be absolutely perfect, and
Yes,
it's not.
and it's not.
Because you made it look that way.
Hmm.
You made it look like it was peaches and cream. You put on the front. You don't need the front. I remember once me and my husband was having a little difficulty arguing and whatever. So my brother came by, Keith. This is really funny.
Hmm.
So we had not really had too much to say to each other for a whole day.
Hmm.
My brother came, knocked on the door, came in the house. He's trying to act like, oh yeah, well, baby, I said, that ain't what you said a few minutes ago. You know,
Okay.
he gonna put on a front.
Okay.
So I ratted him out right there for my brother. I sure did. That's we didn't have said anything in a day or so. Now he trying to act like everything is hunky dory.
Hmm.
Later we laughed about it, but I'm saying that to say the kids think everything is so perfect. You need to let them know it's not.
Hmm.
There have been people who had infidelity in their
Hmm.
marriage.
Hmm.
Now, parents don't want to say that with their kids,
Hmm.
you know, but they got past it and they stayed together. Ain't nothing wrong with kids knowing the truth, because then maybe they're not going to jump up and divorce their husband. But one, I'm not talking about now, look, let me get it straight. I'm not talking about a man or woman who's making a vocation.
Whole career, huh?
Yeah, I'm not talking about the career adulterers. I'm talking about, and you didn't catch them. You
Hmm.
snooped,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's how you
yeah,
found out.
yeah,
Not they brought it in your face, but
yeah.
people. There are a lot of young people talk. Well, honey, if he cheated on you, you need to be up out of there. They ready to pack that day. You'd be surprised how many
Yeah.
marriages have ended because of one situation like that.
Yeah. Well, you did well then. I mean that, especially if you live in a big city, the odds of that happening are very high. The thing is, and my thing is, does she respect you enough for you not to see it?
Yeah, right.
Okay, because that if we live in Los Angeles, you got 10 million people. Okay, the odds are bumping into somebody that she's gonna fall for are very high. Okay, so the thing is, can she resist it? If she can't, can she not bring it home?
And the other thing you have to
Uh
realize,
huh.
Keith, I feel when something like this happens, women make mistakes
Hmm.
by jumping up. See, all the planning that you put into a marriage,
Hmm.
you need to use that same amount of energy and planning if you're going to get a divorce.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm going to say that. You need to put that, I don't care how mad you get, I don't care what he done or what she have done, both. You need to plan that thing before you jump up and get out of
Mm.
there. It's no
Okay.
emergency. The house is not on fire.
Hmm.
You need to look at your economic status. You
Hmm.
need to look at the welfare of your kids. If you're
Hmm.
going to move, if you have to get out of the house, so it's
Hmm.
going to be sold. No,
Hmm.
I'm serious. You need to look at, we have to sell this house.
Hmm.
Uh, What can I afford to rent? Where will I have to move my kids to? What
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood would I have to take them to? Folks,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to give y'all some real stump down country
And, and and
advice.
and is the divorce worse? What you're gonna have to go through?
Hmm. I remember a Jewish family that my aunt worked for, and I found out later.
Mm-hmm.
They had really like been divorced, as she told me, for a long time. They had their own affair with different people, but the
Mm-hmm.
kids never knew because he came home every night.
Right.
They never knew what was going on in that family. But you got to pick the right time. You have kids. You can't just get mad up and take them kids and then you go and stand with Aunt Lizzie, and then she can't stand the kids, and the kids can't stand her. Now here you go with all these mental, emotional issues. You need to plan if you have to get a divorce. And by the time, sometimes that you put the energy in planning and taking your time, you might see before you walk out that door, we can work this out. But
Mm-hmm.
if you just jump up the next day, do you hear me, Keith? The next day, the minute you get mad, you out of there the next day. It's important for families to plan and have the kids in mind. I hear some people say, well, I ain't gonna, people, the old folks, you stay for the kid. I ain't staying for the kid. Okay, you don't have to do it, but you're going to be the one going to get them out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be the one putting up the bail
Right.
because they're going to be with you and
Right.
not with their father.
Right.
I hope somebody listen to what I'm saying. So all of this is what you have to think about. Then you have to ask yourself a question. Is it worth it?
Is it worth? Yeah, is it worth it? Hopefully, you do it before and not after.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brenda, I sure hate you couldn't get in. Try again, Brenda. We're getting ready to close, but, we need to hear something from you. Brenda is always.
Yeah, and
Brenda, go ahead.
I'm just
ooh, okay.
sorry.
See, the devil is so busy, but Brenda was going to bring it this morning. Devil, I tell you, oh, you just acting up today. Folks, I hope and I pray that you all take this. I'm surprised Barbara Smith hasn't said anything. Cassandra is one of our new listeners. She's a new author. In
Okay.
fact, she'll be a guest on our show
Okay.
sometime soon. Yeah, she was showcased at Black Writers on Tour. Folks, don't forget, Black Writers on Tour is going down Saturday, April 25th.
What anniversary is this for Black Riders on Tour, Dr. Rosie?
This is the 30th.
30th.
This is the 30th
Wow.
anniversary. And we are going to bring in the AI magic. Go to blackwritersontour.com so you can look at the seminar lineup. You guys, it is really on. blackwritersontour.com. Go to the website. Barbara Smith is one of our vendors. She's on here with us today. She's always there.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, I want you to take the thoughts that you've gotten from this show and start talking about it. Start talking about it to your family. If you're involved in a church, ask the pastor if, maybe somebody there can start holding some seminars, pre-marriage seminars, seminars just for married couples, because some people don't know when they hear other couples talk about when you say you've been married 55 years, how did you do it? Somebody needs to ask these questions. It shouldn't be foreign what people are talking about. No, it wasn't perfect. But here's how we made it. Wouldn't it be nice for young people to know what glue that held people that's been married 50 and 60 years? Don't you think it's worth listening to, Keith?
Yeah, it is, and basically, the United States is so interested in it. You can find a business with it is because marriage and getting people together and people having kids is a very major problem in the United States, and they're willing to pay to figure it out. So,
absolutely. So, but we need to figure it out for us. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're not Caucasian clone, so don't even think that you can do what the other folks do. Keith, there's something in the chat. Can you read it for us?
Okay. The first one was is American economy society continues to spiral downward out of control, what does the future hold for many black people 65 and older? Okay, if you're already this at 65 or you're older, okay, it's going to be a slow. It's going to be a slow grind downward. But the thing is, for people that are having reached that age, okay, they're going to have problems. It's because uh, the money's not going to be there. They're going to have to figure something out.
Not only
Okay.
that, even right now, Keith, under the new Medi-Cal
Hmm.
law, person, they can't have more than one house. So,
Right.
and if you go into a long-term care facility,
Right.
Medicare only pays for 100 days. You're on
Hmm.
your own after that, so you're gonna have to sell that second house, sell
Yeah.
your Rolex,
Yeah.
uh, pull down that equity in your insurance. It just we just
Yeah.
don't have the
Yeah.
information we need at hand
And,
to prepare
yeah. Yeah.
for our golden years.
And you also have to think out of the box, and you also have to because I've been getting on a lot of our politicians that you're gonna have to think out of the boxes because you know in this digital age where you can go to lower cost places to actually afford medical care. Okay, how come we can't as a group as a group of old people, black especially black, go to Ghana, go to South Africa, go to Kenya where the cost of living is 1/5 and take and actually leverage the money that we have to actually instead it to actually be in a facility with trained people and stuff like that. So we're going to have to
Wow.
start thinking out of the box.
So what you're saying, black folks, some of you gonna have to think of getting on up out of here, right?
Right. Yeah, I know a lot of my vets that I talk to, right?
Uh-huh.
There's a reason they're going to Panama, retiring in Panama, because the cost of living's lower. They got good medical care because the VA's right there. And in fact, the black women down there are starting to take over Panama City. So
Wow.
they're getting out of here. So,
Well, people gonna really have to think about it because it doesn't
yes.
make sense. To, when
Right.
I see uh, elders struggling the way
Right.
I see them do
Yeah.
finance, it just hurts my heart. And
Yeah.
these are people who, with degrees, Keith. These are
Yeah.
people who have worked hard all their
Yeah.
life.
Right.
These are people who've done everything the right way.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't have babies before they got married. They got married before they started having children. They got their education.
Mm-hmm.
They did it right.
Mm-hmm.
But look what's happening to them.
Yeah, yeah. That's why always say and I think it was Maya Angelou that said that. They said uh, the world is big and we make it small, so we're gonna have to, you know. I know you don't want to leave your neighborhood. I know you don't want to leave your little corner of the world. But sometimes if it's not giving you what you need, you're gonna have to think bigger. So.
And you're going to have to, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's a caretaker, whether you're the mother or the grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
you need to start talking. Our children need to be prepared for
Mm-hmm.
life,
For life,
from
yeah.
for finance,
Mm-hmm.
for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
There's preparation for everything because I'm telling you, if we continue the rate of divorce the way it's going,
Mm-hmm.
God help the next generation.
Mm-mm, yeah, well, yeah, they're already in trouble. So we can
Yeah.
already see the results. They're already in trouble. So this
And
stuff
then
is already starting
you
to show up.
yeah, and then you end up in a senior citizen housing, and
Hmm.
now your kid can't even come to live with you.
Right, that's true.
Think about this, folks. We moving in a direction that people not thinking about. Your kid cannot come to live with you.
Yeah,
Wow. Your kid have to sleep in the street
yeah,
because he can't come and sleep on your couch
yeah,
because you in senior housing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to, in the '60s we would get off our behinds and do something, and we're gonna have to that spirit's gonna have to come up again. Where
Yeah.
instead of talk, we're gonna have to start doing. Because when
I
you were
think
young, Dr. Rosie, y'all did, okay?
that's right. When
Yeah,
something like this, we spoke up, we came up,
yeah.
we made change. But some kids, it seems like everybody is lie dormant now. What
It,
is it?
you know
They
what?
so beat down. I've never seen an era in the
Y-
black
y-
community
Yeah.
that there's that
You know
I
what?
don't
What
understand that.
a mentor I had, Craig Hewley, he told me, he said, when do revolutionaries stop fighting? Redress of grievances, okay? Affirmative action was our redress, and when they start giving us what we asked for, no matter how small it was, guess what we did? We went to sleep, and we still haven't
Okay.
woken up.
We, we
That's what
we
happened.
don't realize they gave us something, but it's more.
Well, the thing is, we don't realize that the white woman took it, but that's another story.
Wow. Wow, with the affirmative action, with
Actually, the white
everything.
most of the affirmative action, the white woman, we call them Gucci boot warriors. Stepped over the line and took it away. So
Wow. Folks, as we close this show out, I'm so sorry Brenda couldn't have got in. Brenda, you could at least have put something in the chart. I don't in the chat. I don't know what's on your mind. I guess I miss you, Brenda.
mm,
You know,
mm.
you miss people, you know. But you guys, please remember, if you're not married, if you can find someone that you can, have a marriage with,
Hmm.
I'm telling y'all, you better try to hook up. 'Cause
Yeah,
keep on. When you get 70 and 80, you're gonna be shocked.
if you're young and you don't have to wait to 70, 80 because you're gonna need that man now. Okay, just like you needed him back then. In
Uh-huh.
the next 5 years, you're gonna need that man. So you better start looking. And
Casada, go ahead and unmute if you have a comment. She said, sitting up there laughing. Unmute
mhm,
yourself. You know how to
mhm.
do that? Push that button
You
down
push
at
that
the bottom,
the mic button. There should
the
be a
mic
mic button.
button.
Yeah.
Okay, what you
I
got to
just
say?
wanted to tell you I really enjoyed the topics that you guys brought in this morning.
Hmm.
I just want to comment on the church. I think that the church should have more things for single women, and I notice like a lot of the churches they have things more for married women, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
And I tried several times, right,
Hmm.
to to ask, well, when we gonna have something for the single women?
Hmm.
I think that that'll be great, but it's almost, how can I put it? Like I want to take over. That's how I felt like they thought that I wanted to take over. Like
Hmm.
I felt
You
some
should have.
intimidation. A lot of
Yeah.
intimidation
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I basically had to back down because
Hmm.
everything I brought to the table, like oh no, we don't need that. That's not a great
Yeah.
topic, and and
Hmm.
and so on. But I think it should be more, more meetings and programs for single women,
Yeah.
and um,
You guys go to church together. You're a group. How come the single women don't get together
It don't
and,
have to be in the
and,
church. You all can get
you just
together
together anywhere?
at your all's house, at a
Online, on
restaurant.
Zoom, any
mhm.
place. If all you need is where there's one or more,
Two or three gather together. That's
gather
what the
together. Yeah,
Bible
and
says.
it's all you need. If you're in church and you come to church one, two, three times a week, right? You see the same faces. Get their phone number,
Yeah.
get their email address, get their Facebook, form your own group.
That's your assignment.
It's your
Okay,
assignment.
And,
Yeah.
and let,
that's
let us know how it comes out,
Hey,
okay?
you don't have to go through you don't have to go through them all the time.
Yeah, you don't
Okay,
have to ask pastor about everything.
everything. Yeah.
Some
that's
people, some people can't pass it. If I'm supposed to have
Yeah.
sex this way, I bet.
I mean, the pastor's there for the whole group. The thing is, you're adults. You're grown adults. You guys are
That's right.
brilliant people. You don't need the pastor's
You
permission
don't
all the
need to
time.
pass for everything. Barbara,
Yeah.
you have a comment? Barbara, you
also
want
I
to make a
wanted to
comment?
Yes.
say. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I have one more little quick thing I
Go ahead.
wanted to say. Like I had even offered
Hmm.
to do some workshops, right? Because I'm a
Hmm.
gerontologist by training. Right,
Okay.
I have a master's in gerontology. I wanted to do some uh, training,
Hmm.
being elderly's being safe in a home and
Hmm.
different things like that. They refuse.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
like, okay,
Like,
all right. So I just kind of like, okay, I just shut down in that area and I
mhm.
just leave it. I just left it alone. I said,
Yeah.
okay, I could tell
See?
that the minister's wife, they're not comfortable with me, and I
Okay.
don't. That's but what's I find very very strange.
Hmm.
They're not my friend on Facebook, but they always on my page.
Yeah, well, they keep an eye on you. Yeah.
like a monitoring spirit.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
monitoring spirit, you're trying to
Yeah.
see what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a little weird, you know? And I hate
Yeah.
to,
You're
not say anything,
you're the problem child, huh?
I'm the kind, yeah, and it's like, okay, it's like I what we could do, offer some free services basically to the elders of the church.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, find the people who want to hear
Find the
what you
people that
have.
want to hear what you have to say
Yeah,
and build a group from there.
okay,
exactly.
Yeah.
sounds
Okay.
great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Barbara, thanks for joining us. You had a comment, Barbara?
Yes, thank you all for this. I just wanted to say I'm so laughing because Sister Johnson,
Uh-huh.
you're too smart for the church. Don't worry about it. I just became an usher 90 days ago, and
Mm-hmm.
I am having to talk to the pastor today at
Mm-hmm.
my church, but it got out of hand with someone coming attacking me verbal.
Okay.
So I say to you, keep smart with your intelligence.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry about those naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
God got all of us. Just do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about people. If
Mm-hmm.
they see it,
Absolutely.
they see it. But I wanted to say to you, you have too much intelligence for them.
Yeah.
And as my daddy say, let those people talk about you because
Mm-hmm.
we are something to
Yeah.
talk about.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like
Thank
that.
you all,
Thank
Dr.
All right.
Milligan, for
Yeah.
having this
thank you.
panel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes
This makes my day.
All right. All right.
do like Dr. Rosie. Make your own door.
That,
Down door.
That's right. Make your own door. Keep
I
saying.
like that.
So you guys go out and spread the news that we need. If you're married, find a way to stay married. If you're not married, start looking for somebody. No, y'all need to look for some husband around here.
Dr. Rosie, I'm gonna say this, okay? People need to stop making marriage so doggone hard. It's not that hard, okay? You get bored because you want to be happy. You want something else instead of just letting the marriage work, okay?
But nobody told them.
Marriage ain't that hard.
Nobody's talking about how to make it work. Nobody's talking
And
about
I
that.
I get tired of doing the same thing over and
Well,
over and
do
over
something
again.
different then.
Da 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 da. I ain't happy. It ain't
If you
that
let me tell you
hard.
something, if you can't make yourself happy, don't think nobody else
Yes.
can. I mean, you need to be able to make yourself happy. Don't care what's
Yeah.
going on in your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
If you
That's right.
decide,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know how they do, happiness is mine, then you better declare when you get up. I don't care what you're doing. I am going to be happy. I don't care what they do in the White House. I don't care what they do, whatever. Rosie Milligan gonna have some happiness, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys, I know we got to jump off. We went over time. I appreciate you all, but remember, if you're married, stay married.
They're
If
married.
you're
Yeah.
not married, y'all go get you somebody.
You know what you better get somebody. You better get somebody because we think Donald Trump is bad, but thing is he's not the cause. He's the effect. Okay, and the cause is still with us. So you better find a way to get together. Okay, and stop. Like I said, I'm looking at marriage. Marriage is not. We make marriage hard. Marriage is not that hard. People do it all over the world, marriage, and with
It's
nothing.
not,
It's not
and
that
it may
hard.
not be for everybody. It's not for you.
Yeah,
Don't get into it. But if it's not for you,
yeah,
go somewhere and sit yourself down.
yeah,
Find out what your calling is and stop running around
yeah.
chasing men, trying to want somebody to look at you, want somebody to see you. Just be happy and go on about your business. You know you don't want a husband. You know
we,
you're not qualified. Let me break you. You ain't qualified. You can't cook. You,
yeah,
you ain't qualified. You
and
can't
sometimes
cook.
some people, well,
Certain things you know you don't want to do, so don't jump into marriage. Go
don't
on
jump
and
in the
be
marriage.
single. Don't mess up somebody's
Yeah,
life. That's what people do.
Right.
if you're not married and you don't want to get married, be happy with your
Be
life.
happy single.
Yeah,
Right.
don't worry about it. Say, you know what?
Right.
I'm not married. How come you're not married? Well, I'm happy the way I am,
And I'm busy.
I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy. Yeah, yeah.
All right, you guys have a great day.
You too.
Like I
Thank
said,
you.
All right.
Thank you,
let
guys.
me know when you find that special guy, okay?
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
You too.